The next award is the Ewing Theory Award, which is we know what Ewing Theory is. A good player whose team plays better without them. It's usually the best player. It's usually the best player. But I stretched the definition for this one because there were a few guys that had to be included here. Number 1, Darius Garland. The Cavs are 17-7 without him this year. I wanted to do Evan Mobley. I see everyone saying Evan Mobley. The Cavs are actually worse without Evan Mobley if you break it down. I'm sure if you went through game by game that there might be certain games where they play better when Mobley's on the bench. Maybe the overall net rating, they're better when he's off the court, but their record is actually not great without him. It's very good without Darius Garland, 17-7, like I said. LeBron James. This is just more anecdotal here, because the Lakers have won against the Celtics, and they have 2 wins against the Bucks without LeBron this year. I'm just saying he's got to be on there. He's got to be on the list. He's got to be considered. Karl Anthony Towns, Wolves have looked pretty good recently. You might be able to take a victory lap on that one. Naz Reid has filled in very well. I know they just had a recent loss that was tough against the Bulls, but other than that, they've looked very good without him. And I don't think that they miss him all that much, at least yet. So I think that he should be included on here. Paolo Banchero, the team is just way better when he's off the court this season. I don't think that it really means anything for his long-term. I still believe in Paolo long-term as like the dude, but they're just a much better team when he's on the bench this season. And it has to be noted at a minimum. And then the last one that will probably make Sam cry live on air that I have on here is Trae Young. The Hawks are currently 5 games below 500 when Trae Young, on the season, they're 5 games below 500, but when Trae does not play, they are 2 games above 500. So Trae Young is, like I said, incredibly overrated. Everyone knows it except for Sam. So yeah.
By the way, crazy. Zach LaVine didn't make it on this list. That's nuts.
He's got to be on there. Duh.
Yeah.
He didn't. I mean, they were definitely better in the games that he didn't play, which was the large majority of the season.
Right. I guess that's true. Like, did he miss so many games that it like doesn't matter? But
sure. But I think that because he's been out and they're still like about the same that they were last year.
Right.
And like record wise, I actually think they're better when he doesn't play. And when he did play this year, they kind of looked not great. He has to be considered on the list. I think that's also a good choice. So Darius Garland, LeBron James, Karl Anthony Towns, Paolo Banchero, Trae Young, and Zach LaVine. Oh, Şengün. How did I forget Şengün?
Yeah.
Honestly, Şengün might be the winner. Oh, I know it is Mickey Mouse March.
That's what I was just going to say.
Was easy.
Yeah.
And even like their best win was against the Thunder without SGA. Like they probably would have done this with Şengün too, but Jalen Green might not have popped quite as much as he did during Mickey Mouse March.
Yeah, I don't know that. You know, I don't know, because the other ones, like, I understand, like all these other ones we've explained, like it's like I kind of understand like what's going on, and like there's been different points in time where like different things were going on, whatever. Mickey Mouse March, and it can't be stressed enough. I think they played the Spurs twice, the Trailblazers once. I think they played the Wizards in that stretch. I think they played every bad team.
Yeah, and every bad defense.
Yeah, and then like even the Kings win that they got, like Şengün was back for that one, So
he was early in the season or early in the month.
Yes. So, or was there for that one. You know what I meant? So yeah, I don't know if I would pick Şengün. I'm honestly kind of leading Garland.
17-7 without him. I know they played their best ball of the season without Garland.
Yeah.
And other than that stretch, someone pointed this out, they're basically a 500 team if you take away that 2-month stretch when he was mostly out.
Yeah, that's not good. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I like Garland like a lot, but like it's clear like he can't work with Donovan Mitchell. I think he's like a better player than this, but we're talking about Ewing theory. You know what I'm saying? And we're talking about guys who are supposed to make the team better. And I do
That's
think
this season. Like,
yes,
if you're predicating your value as a player,
yeah,
and a lot of it relies on shooting, and you have a down shooting year, and the other parts of your game are good, but also maybe not maximized when the best player's healthy, when when Donovan Mitchell plays, and they might be just as good, if not better, than when you're out of the lineup. It's a tough look at a minimum.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't look good for Darius Garland, considering 2 years ago, like we had this conversation in the Discord the other day. Like, I think it's pretty obvious everyone would probably take Tyrese Maxey over Darius Garland now, and like 2 years ago, Garland was looking that he was going to be on the track that Maxey's on now, where it's like dynamic, smaller guard, but dynamic, very speedy, bursty, plays well on the ball, off the ball, can shoot threes, can play make, and is just not really been that guy. Now, look, maybe Bill said on his podcast, he was like, I'd love to see Garland get his own team. And I'm like, that's just a complete misdiagnosis of who Darius Garland is. Because the thing is that if Darius Garland is your best player, your team isn't going to be good. And unless you have a situation like 2 years ago where you have rookie Mobley, who was awesome, Jared Allen, who was having an all-star level season for himself, Laurie Markkanen the year before he popped, like there really has to be a perfect context for your team to even be like play-in level good if Darius Garland's your best player. In reality, if he's on your team, you want him to be your second or third best player. And right now he should be. And he's honestly their fourth best player. Like when you could, like, I know Mobley's been very disappointing, but when you consider the defensive impact that Mobley can still have, I think that he's their fourth best player. Yeah. And that's, I think that he's got to win the award here, but yeah.
Well, so let's appoint him. I was going to say him or Cat. Cause Cat was the other one I was thinking.